This passage gives us two really good clues for the vocab word. Let's take a look at those. First, ignoring the answer choices, which are kind of tough words. The author's claim about the relationship between Neanderthals and Homo sapiens is blank, as it fails to account for several recent archaeological discoveries. So it's probably something negative that I'm looking for here, right? It fails something. So negative, failure is negative. The next sentence, to be convincing. To be convincing, his argument would need to address recent finds of additional hominid fossils, such as the latest Denisovan specimens and Homo longi, whatever. Okay. So not only is it negative, but they get really specific. They're basically saying it's unconvincing. And then the next sentence is saying that in order to kind of overcome that failure, to be convincing, it needs to do this other thing, right? So I don't care about what the other thing is. You can notice that I'm kind of ignoring how to pronounce some of these words. I don't really care. I'm not interested in learning about Homo longi. I don't care what it is. I never want to know. I just want to know the answer to these vocab questions. So now I'm looking at these answer choices, looking for something that means unconvincing. Now, maybe some of these words are tough for you. Let's see the order that I would go through. First, disorienting. Maybe we don't know what tenuous means. Nuanced, hopefully you should know, is positive. That means something is kind of like able to handle complexity, right? A nuanced explanation would touch on the different complexities of a problem. I hope that I'm always giving you nuanced explanations that do more than just tell you the right answer. And then unoriginal obviously is negative, so this might only get rid of choice C for us. But even if we don't know what tenuous means, we should know those other two words. Unoriginal just means not original. Whether something is original or not has nothing to do whether it's convincing or not, right? Being convinced of something has nothing to do with something's originality. These are just two separate types of adjectives. So that just doesn't fit. And then disorienting, hopefully we know that word, right? If it's disorienting, it's confusing, right? I mean, it literally means like it's dizzying, okay? So again, whether or not something is confusing or not has nothing to do with it's convincing or not. You can be confused if an argument is still convincing to other people, or you can be unconvinced even though you understand an argument. So these are separate ideas. The correct answer is tenuous. Tenuous means kind of like something like weak, in the sense of like you have a tenuous kind of grasp. It's weak, it's easy to fall apart. And so it does match perfectly with unconvincing. Like it's a perfect synonym for this case. The argument is tenuous because it maybe doesn't have a lot of evidence to support it. So that's a good word to know. I would try to file that one away. But notice how even if we have the kind of occasional difficult word that we don't know in these answer choices, if we do a good job understanding the sentence and kind of coming up with a guess on our own of what the blank should mean, that might eliminate all the other answers and allow us to pick a kind of choice we don't understand, but it must be right because nothing else could be right. You know, we don't need to understand why the right answer is right if we understand why all of the wrong answers are wrong. Ideally, we can do both. We can understand everything, but you know, we sometimes need to just pick one of those strategies, and here, just knowing those other wrong answers is good enough to get the right one.